Welcome to another in the series, The Soup and Chat. Welcome to another in the series, Soup and Chat. I'm your host, Lily Tomlinson. And I'm excited this afternoon because it's a special evening. It is Mother's Day. And I'm sure by now everybody would have feted and dined your mom, or you're probably somewhere continuing the festivities of today. And I want to acknowledge from very early my special guest and friend, Shanice. Oh my God, we go way back, right?
Way back.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, and the same to you.
Yes. Everybody asks me how much you're not having us. I say one
Plus many.
plus many, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them is in my head to my two daughters.
Listen, knowing you, everywhere you go, you adopt one. So it's one plus many.
I think sometimes my son has to remind me that, Mommy, remember, I am the real son.
Definitely.
But that's just something that's very unique about moms. A person who has a motherly instinct, it's almost like you can't just be supportive and embracing one child. You know what I'm saying?
Every child.
Every child is like your child.
Because it comes naturally.
It comes naturally.
It comes, let me tell you, when I look at it, because we were once a child,
right?
So we embody our parents, our mother grow us up. So once we hit that spark where we are now a mother, it is all natural.
It's so amazing. And so first of all, I want to talk a lot about moms today, and we want to make a very big statement very early. We want to big up all of our men. We love men, we celebrate our men, fathers, husbands, friends, wherever you are, we want to big up our men. But today we want to talk more specifically about women. Yes. A lot of times when we talk about women, people think that, oh, you're anti-man or so. No. We're just putting in perspective today the contribution of women in the society, whichever social space they're in, we want to really, really acknowledge them. And so today, I want to first of all acknowledge the whole matter of the woman and herself.
Definitely.
I choose to start there today, Shan, because I felt that if the woman sometimes has this tendency to put every other person
before themselves.
That's
a fact.
The first question, one of the things that I always find is Proverbs 31, as the wisest man that ever lived, big up to man again.
Big up.
Right? Always says, who can find a virtuous woman? And that means a woman of purpose and a woman of value. And he went on to describe what this woman does, right? She seeks at linen and flax, the heart of her household, doth safely trust in her. The industrious woman, it just describes her, at every level of society. So one thing we know, just using this as a premise, is that the woman generally is usually a woman who goes after a goal, goes after pursue something. But sometimes in trying to make others happy,
they lose themselves.
Talk to us about that.
I like how you're starting, because a woman first have to become themselves before they can offer themselves up to anybody.
Excellent.
And that is what will happen when you try to please everybody else and push you behind the counter. Mm-hmm. So you're being the wife, you're being the sister, you're being the aunt, you're being the mother. Mm-hmm. But where is you?
Right.
Where is you in all the mix? Mm-hmm. And that means that you have to step back and analyze, really, who am I?
Shan, it was just last week that we're talking about rest and relaxation, and we're going to do. People have been requesting a part 2, so I'm definitely going to do the part 2.
We need it.
But I just had to interject this because it's Mother's Day. But a lot of times, what we find is that in a quest to please others and make sure that others are happy, a lot of women have sacrificed personal goals, academic pursuits, just sacrificed so much. And so today, we really want to say, big up, we want to really salute those women who really put so many things ahead of themselves. And what I like about society now is that society is no longer where you're 50, you're under the bridge.
Or even you're a woman, you can't do this or you can't do
that. Exactly. So what we're finding is that in society today, even though a lot of women might have gone to a certain age, right? A good age, we
Yes.
call it, right?
Right.
They can now understand that whatever those goals were, that because they had the child they couldn't get to pursue, or because of an illness or whatever they
Right.
couldn't get to pursue. I want you to know today that it's not over
Until
until
it's over.
until it's over. And a lot of times we allow people to put full stops in our lives where there's actually a comma.
I like how you said that, because where they've put the full stop is where we now coming in to find ourselves and valuing ourselves. One of the key things about being a woman and being true to you is to value you. You think less. I mean, everybody's introspection is important because we can't do it and we can't tell ourselves everything. But truth be told, when you stop and you begin to value you with your little bit of bumper here, when you value you with your less than cute self, you know what
And I mean, cute is relative, right?
Because I was about to go there, because it comes down to you. How do you really think about you? I am blessed. I'm beautiful.
Exactly.
I am important. So guess what? I may not have done it when I was 20 and 25 and 30, but call me a late bloomer and I'm still in the race.
I like that.
I'm gonna win.
I have to sip to that.
Amen.
Oh my, this
Listen,
is so
call
powerful.
me
A
a
late
late
bloomer. You're
bloomer.
still blooming.
Oh God Almighty, man.
Yeah.
We are women and we're strong. We are women, and I want women out there in TV land to know that, listen to me. The keynote to getting there is to continue to just believe in you. Bumps in the road, footstep, hurdles, it doesn't matter what it is. Get up, dust yourself off, value you. And this Mother's Day, that is what I want some of us to really remember. Value you.
Want to celebrate the women who know to come back from their setback.
Oh, Jesus.
Resilience. Those women who say, listen, I dropped down 2 times, I get disappointed 4 times, but I'm going right back.
I am going.
Resilience is key. I just want to also at this time even celebrate my own mom.
Oh, yes.
Because when I think about resilience, I think about my own mom. I mean, just somebody who is saying, listen, I tried this, it didn't work. I'm not going to be a quitter. Because a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. And so I want to celebrate Miss Yvonne Donald today because, she really went above and beyond, made all the sacrifice. I remember, Shan, when she told us the story about once in her own life when she got a job.
Yes.
And the job, she used to work like going to go to work like, the average time, say, for example, about 7 or 9, thereabout. And she said she remember the time when the boss told her that she has to come in early, like about 6:35. Because she was going to get a job at a restaurant.
Oh.
And she said to the man, she took it, but she said after the first 2 days, when
hard.
she thought to herself that she was somewhere making breakfast for people.
And her kids are hungry.
And she don't know who's making breakfast for her kids. She was like,
she had to make a decision.
She had to make a decision. So we really want to really show some love today. I can see our producer does pushing in the hearts right now to all the moms, to let you know that, a lot of times kids don't say it often enough, but you're truly, truly appreciated.
And listen, coming from the era where, or my mom's generation, they don't say the I love yous and the whatever so much. But let me tell you something. I too want to big up Miss Irma Brown.
Miss Irma,
listen,
lots of love here today.
You hear it sound stern? Listen, I can tell you this, Doc, and it's a privilege to be here because on this Mother's Day, I can surely say that I didn't grow up with my mom in the house, but I can tell you what a mom she was. She wasn't in the house, but she was in the house.
All right.
So you know what that means?
Yes.
So that means
you could hear those voices even you never saw them.
Listen, it would haunt me. Every decision that I had to make as a child, I would have to, listen, Grandma was there and kudos, and I love Sadie Brown to death. But let me tell you, I had to make every decision with my mother's voice in my head back. And listen, I don't want to see the wrath of her. So you know what I do? I behave myself.
That's so important. When we talk about the woman and her purpose as well, is how it is that, a lot of women, they might not have a lot of degrees behind their name, but they have such a powerful presence, and you
Yes.
learn so much from them without them saying even a word. And the
Word.
reason why we want to affirm women today, because a lot of women feel that because they never went to secondary school, they never went to high school, or they never even attained much academical, then they're not worthy. But
Yes.
you have to place a price tag on yourself. And so on this Mother's Day, we want to say to all the moms who have been moms and role
Role
models,
models.
right?
Yes.
My namesake, Miss Lilith,
Yes.
Veronica, I just want to say to all the persons, our own church
Sure, Mom,
mom,
Pastor Eddie.
yes, Mother Pearl, all those persons in society as well who have stood out as excellent role models, who have said, listen, my life
Listen,
and what I do
is
is
important.
not only to impact my immediate surrounding, but to anyone I come in contact with.
Pastor and doctor, you know what I think about? When I think about a mother, I think about somebody that, we know that we're all created Christ-like, but I believe mothers are created, our women are created with something a little bit more oomph, with that natural, divine spirituality to train up a child in
Mm-hmm.
the way that, and we can look on the examples in the Bible. We know about, when I look at Anna, you talk about resilience. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a mom, but she believed in something. And we see that coming out in many women today. They have their children, or
Right.
they see their nieces or their nephews.
Her
But
resilience came out even before she had Samuel.
talk about it.
Because and that's that's one of the traits that I want to say to women today, that sometimes things don't happen immediately, and she really puts that in a strong way to us, that sometimes things don't happen as we want them
To
to,
happen.
but you have to believe in your dream. I call upon women today
Yes,
to
Lord.
believe in your dreams, whatever those dreams are. Dreams deferred are not dreams denied, and
Night.
though the raise a shiver,
Oh,
right,
glory to God.
it will not necessarily mean that this is the end of whatever it is that you want to come forth. We have a birthing canal, and
Yes.
women are always dreaming and conceptualizing. So
Things.
we really want to say to women out there today, because I feel like sometimes when you don't achieve something, you feel that you're less than and you shouldn't be at the table. Let me tell you this, so you ever go to the market, right? I want to big
Right.
up all the ladies in the market too.
Yes, figure about the
I
thing.
hear some persons talking the other day about how women are just so, people in the market, for example, I'm
Yes.
talking about women today, are so unique. Have you ever been to the market, right? And you buy carrots, you buy cabbage, and so on. And you might think that that lady is not bright, or not
Yeah.
as academic. But listen, you hear she said 2 pound 350, that's $7.
Right
And then
away. And you don't start checking to the
Shana, I give up halfway by the time she do the cabbage and the tomato. I give up
and
long
whatever
time.
they say is that meal.
And I said those women are smart, because the truth be told, if you go home as brilliant as you are,
Uh,
according to you by the standards, and you go home, you recognize that those women are so on point, and sometimes without pencil or paper,
they're checking.
half pound times 250, 350 times this,
Listen,
and they get it right. So
right
we really
away.
want to say to women, that is why we're seeing that wherever you find yourself,
Yes.
do what you do to the best of
Of
your
your
ability.
ability.
Bring out the best you. I want to talk about a little bit about this too, because in this day of social media,
Mm,
we have a lot of women who are trying to be other people.
true, true,
I saw some young girls the other day. I was having this conversation with them, and I was saying to them, who are you trying to be like?
true.
Why try to be a second version
Of
when
yourself.
you can
And be
be
the
the
best.
original of
Or even
you,
the best
the
first version.
best first version?
Yes.
And as I got deeper and deeper in the conversation, I said to myself that a lot of persons that we're trying to model, they are fake from head to toe.
That I just tell you about it, when we have a little bumpy here.
Yeah, half of what we are trying to emulate from them is not owned by them.
True, true, true.
But we must just try to learn. Yeah, you can refine what you want to refine,
And nothing is
and
wrong
nothing
with
is wrong
making
with,
up yourself a bit.
right,
But as long as you value you, you love you, and guess what? You're satisfied
you're
with you.
satisfied with you.
As women, we ought to know that being in our own space and company and not doing what the crowd and the world is saying is enough.
One thing about this a little bit, Shan, the whole matter of the woman and just how she needs to understand that she has a right to be here.
Listen to me. The Bible said that Jesus knew you first before he placed you.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also said that he made you in his image and in his likeness.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this, doc. Jesus came on the earth and he followed a path. He led by example. He teach us the way that we should go and we should go. And when we come out, we should be what? Like pure gold. If you look at the purpose of a mother, watch the trend. Mothers direct, mothers protect, mothers love with a multitude of sin and it covers it.
Right.
Mothers, women never stop. It is their innate nature. They are important. Watch this now. And without women, we need a man, them, big ups to the man. But we need a woman to carry that sack for 9 months.
Right.
The generation will continue with the woman.
Right.
Exalt the woman and the womb.
Yes, and the 2 W's.
Oh, Jesus. Exit out and what happened?
Right.
We need, as much as we need men, we need women. And this is to say, listen, they will push and they will push all the way. But in their little quiet corner, that's where they take away themselves.
Right. One of the things that I want to also embrace is how important it is, especially for women in relationships, to have their spouse affirm them. So even on this Mother's Day, if you are at the table with your spouse, if you're at the bed with your spouse, wherever you are with your spouse, we want to also let men know that a little affirmation every now and then is very, very important. A lot of times, when the men get the woman, right, they say, "Oh, I got the cherry," right?
My husband would say, "Then it means I should continue to date you." Yes.
Yes. Oh, very much so. Yes.
And truth be told, some of these husbands and spouses to be don't know that.
Right. I always say, Shan, for me, I've always said that a relationship is like an investment policy.
Yes.
When you don't pay a premium, it lapses,
It
right?
lapses.
I mean, it's still there, but it lapses.
In other words, I don't even want to say that.
Right.
Here,
So we
it's
have to.
lapsed.
I wanted to use this form as well to encourage spouse to really continue to celebrate their woman.
Yes.
And sometimes when they go quiet, try to get the conversation going and find out, are you happy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And remember, a lot of times happiness is not, for some persons it could be about the financial,
True.
but a lot of times for people to be happy, it's really about letting them know that you appreciate them.
Yes.
They wash, they cook, they do a multiplicity of things. And so we need to, when you come home, there's nothing like to a man than coming home to his den and knowing that when he comes home to that den is nice and tidy. And the question is, really, if that was done by a woman or your wife, you should really, really say something and don't take it for granted that, because she is supposed to do it, then she has done it. We're going to talk to your daughter in a few seconds. But I just want to say, before we wrap up our little section, the woman and her God. How important is the woman and her God?
Let me tell you, I don't know about any woman out there, but I don't believe there's the woman without the God. Listen, with all my little life experience, there is no woman without the God, because a woman prays for everything. And that cements their relationship. That cements their belief that, listen, I can do anything. Look about that lady, and nothing is wrong with where you come from, but a lady in the volatile community that knows that only prayer will carry us through. That is like Moses' mother,
Right.
When she decided that, listen, they say every boy that is 3 months born dying, they're going to kill them. Moses lived for 3 months. She hid him.
Oh,
Protector.
I think it's so important that, I was saying to somebody the other day as well, that it is so important to have God in your life, because a lot of times we go through lonesome valleys, and sometimes we can be, we don't want to talk to nobody, which is not something I do encourage, as you know, my philosophy on that. But sometimes it's just not, we're just not at a place where we can open up and share with somebody at a particular time.
But that place is the only place a woman can go to.
Exactly. And that place that we go with God, where we can be ourselves. We don't even have to knock.
Authentic self.
Our authentic self. We don't have to knock.
That have been there the other day.
Oh God, we're gonna get to that. But and then he says to us, and I like what God does, in his word. He invites us in. He says, "Come unto me, all ye are labored and heavy laden, and I got," and there's no bosom oh God, like the bosom of God.
God.
When you go to that place when you need comfort and you need somebody just to understand you for exactly, because sometimes we can't even speak in English,
You
right?
call the spade with Jesus.
Yeah, and it's just tears on our pillows,
And he
but
knows.
and he understands everything, and we just want to say thank God on this program as
Thank you,
well for
Jesus.
being God. We
Yes.
want to say thanks to all the Bible character ladies that were
Oh
women of
my God.
substance, and I want to say this as well. Sometimes when we talk about women in the Bible who are women of substance, we don't talk about a woman like Agar,
Uh-huh.
but she's a good woman
Of
because
course.
she was met by an angel. Admit,
And
although she
and,
had a
and,
little.
and that a part of that purpose had to happen.
Exactly. So we want to also tell people that sometimes when you're looking for how to come out of your rut, you can go to the word, because for every situation that
There
you
is a
have,
word
there is a woman.
that has gone through. Sometimes when I think about how Rebecca paved the way,
Oh Lord.
we know mothers, we
It's
know mothers.
a long time me to think of going to, when I think about
No,
Penina
and
and
Anna,
Anna, when we think about Ruth and Naomi and just how that love between mother-in-laws.
laws,
Oh God. We want to say there are some good
and
mother-in-laws.
big ups to
Really,
mine, Mavis.
really,
You are
really, really,
one.
really some excellent mother-in-laws. And we want to tell them that we appreciate them. And we really, really want to give God thanks. So we're going to continue with your daughter, Shan,
Yes.
as usual. Thanks for
Thank you, and
stopping by.
thanks for
It's always
coming.
a pleasure. Happy Mother's Day.
Same to
And I know
you.
the later will be greater,
As
right?
always,
All
as
right. Thanks so
always.
much.
Thank you.
Hey, gentle Jesus, meek and mild. Look up on your wayward child. From you I don't want to depart. Give me a worshiper's heart.
I just want to acknowledge at this time the presence of my little niece, Alana. She is the daughter of Shanice that we spoke to earlier. Welcome to the show, Alana.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You seem very excited. Are you excited about Mother's Day?
Yeah, very.
Tell us.
Now that I get to appreciate my mother more than I ever do.
Oh my. So tell us, what do you do on Mother's Day? And why is, first of all, why is your mom so important?
Okay, my mom is important because she cares for me. When I'm sad, she's the one I can look to and say, help me out here. I'm feeling down. And other than that, she cooks, she cleans. By the way, her food is very delicious.
Okay, what does she cooks best?
Okay, she cooks pasta, shrimp alfredo to be specific, rice and peas, curry chicken, curry goat.
Wow, she sounds like she's a real chef.
Yeah, she is. But not just her, but my father as well.
Okay, great. So on this Mother's Day, like what would you do for her? Like if you had all the money in the world, what would you do for her?
First, I would book out a whole cruise for her because she deserves that.
Hmm.
And then she deserves a dinner out with anyone she chooses. Of course, that would be me.
Okay, then.
Then I would take her to a shopping spree and tell her get whatever you want. And then I would give her free time.
Oh, that's good. Do you think that mothers are appreciated in the way that they should?
Sometimes yes, but most of the times not really, because teenagers these days don't really say I love you that much and mostly say like these hateful things when they don't get their way. But me, I'm different. Any chance I get to tell my mother I love her, and I will tell her. But there's sometimes when we fall up, but then we always fix it up and patch it up.
Right. So just I want you to look straight in the camera now and just tell her on TV, call her by her name and let her know how much you love her.
Shanique Simone Edwards Francis, I love you from to death. You are my inspiration for everything I could do and everything I'm about to do. Thank you for being there when nobody was there. I love you. Mwah. Happy Mother's Day, mommy.
Wow, I mean that must touch the entire world, right? And for a mother who is out there whose child did not tell her Happy Mother's Day, and probably today she's feeling a little sad because her child probably had a little fallout, which happens at time. But
Yes.
I want you to just say something special to moms, who might not be as happy today because their own child isn't with them, or maybe their child died or something. So just
Oh.
talk to them on camera about, just encourage them today.
So, hello, mothers all around the world. Your children may not tell you, but I am here to tell you you're special, you're appreciated, we love you, thank you for being there. We don't tell you this often, but you are the inspiration for everything that we do. I want to say thank you for loving us the way that you love us, Lord.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lord.
That's fine.
But
All right.
thank you for everything that you have done. We love you. Mwah.
All right. So we just want to say thank you so very much to Alana for being here. And there are so many mothers out there who are not biological moms. Has there been any mom in your own life that wasn't your biological mom that meant a lot to you that you want to give a shout out to as well?
Yes, first of all, you, thank you.
Thank you.
But then we have my grandmother,
Right.
who unfortunately isn't in the land of the living anymore. But
She had a very positive impact on your life.
yeah, she was there like every time. I could count on her, say like I was hungry and mommy was busy like on the road. I could like call her and say, "Hey grandma, can you make me something and drop it off?" And yes, she would. And not just Miss Mavis Francis, but Mrs. Irma Brown, who my mother talked about earlier. Let me tell you, she's a strict one, but she has a good impact. She's positive. She's optimistic at times. But when you do foolishness, she's not going to tolerate it at all.
And don't you think that is so important, being a mother?
Yes, it is. You can't be that carefree mother. You have to put your foot down sometimes and say, "Hey, you can't do that. You need to do this way," because children, when they don't get their own way, they tend to throw a tantrum at sometimes. And if you don't, how do we say this, discipline them,
Correct,
they will grow up and getting their own way. And the time you decide to put your foot down, they will tell you all sorts of things that they're going to run away and stuff like that. And they don't like you, they hate you and stuff like that. So it's important to put your foot down when your child is a young age.
right. So you really believe in the scripture too that says, train up the child
in the way that they will grow and they will not depart from it.
Yeah, that is so important, because and you said something that's good, that I think it's very good for persons to understand as well, that sometimes as children they will intimidate their moms because they want to have their own way. But we hear from the voice of a child that is saying, listen, even if today they're upset with you, they're mad with you, you're saying to us as mothers and as parents that still put down our foot, because even though you're all old, I think you're 13, 12,
No, I'm
11, right. You just did PEP. You are saying to us that parents should still put down their foot and remember that there is no better way and no better parenting than to set the ground rules and let them understand what is right from what is wrong.
And can I say something?
Sure.
It's not always about you. You have to apply the Bible as well to the discipline that you're going to discipline your child. Say the scripture that you said, train up a child in the way that they should grow and not depart from it. So once you train them up in the way of the Lord and they grow up in that sort of mindset, they will not depart from it. And you teach them, like, you pick certain friends, you do certain things, right from wrong. So it was good to apply the Bible into the discipline that you're going to discipline a child.
Wow, what an evening that we've had. I don't think anybody could ask for any better gift than just being here. I mean, her mom was very informative and just as engaging. And now we have little Alana. All the best in your PEP. Which school do you want to go to?
I want to go to Campion.
You want to go to Campion College. All the best to you. And definitely, when you get to Campion, you'll be right back here. And we'll be celebrating you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire crew here at Sip and Chat, we want to say Happy Mother's Day. Whatever you desire, put your trust in the one who is greater and one who is able to do for you what no other person can do. Love on yourself today. And never forget this. You are important. You're a child of the universe. You have a right to be here. Until next time, let us continue to sip and chat. Cheers. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Tell everybody Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. We love you.